Hey guys, it's Fiona Whitten from Oakfield Crafts. Today I'm sharing with you the projects that I made using the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper. I held a poll a couple of weeks ago and people had the choice of this paper or the Mosaic Madness, and they opted for this. So the aim of the week was to basically highlight projects using the paper. For those of you who haven't seen the paper, this is what it looks like, and it's really cute. Lots of birds. Originally they started off as images that were coloured using the Stampin' blends, and then they put them through the process of the graphic designers used those sheets and came up with the paper. So this originally started off as original artwork, which is quite nice, a nice idea. So apologies, I don't have complete 12 by 12 sheets. I do have samples of all 6 sheets, but I say this particular sheet, I only have this much left. So it's been quite popular. So here's one. So these are all the birds. So I love this one. There's 1, 2, 3 that have birds on. So these are on branches. There's feathers, blossoms, more blossoms, which are really, really cute. And then the other side, we've got keys. More birds, swallows, bird cages. This one's just got dots. This one has stripes. You may recognise some of them. And this one, it's supposed to be bird marks made by bird feet. But I have to say, because of the yellow background, it kind of reminded me of one of those aerial views of all those planes that have been left in the desert. But there you go. It's supposed to be bird feet in the sand. So that's the actual paper. So I started off the week with simple stamping. Simple Stamping Saturday is basically what it says. Take a stamp set, make some cards, but obviously I really wanted to highlight the paper. So this was, let's see, I'm trying to see, make sure you can actually see it. One of the cards that I made, and this actual thank you here comes from the Accented Blooms stamp set. So it's this one. And what I did, it was actually quite simple to do. I stamped the thank you in Calypso Coral directly onto the paper. I then had my strip of cardstock, and what I did was I stamped again the thank you onto the cardstock, cut it out using just a pair of scissors, and then that gave me the actual V shape that would fit around this, and then just stuck it onto the paper. So very simple, nice effect. Obviously you could do it with the hello as well. So that was one, and then I put a piece of the paper inside. The second one, I just used some paper that's basically just a strip of paper, a piece of I use Calypso Coral, but any of these colours, so we've got Pool Party Calypso Coral, Pear Pizzazz, Petal Pink, I want to say, any of those colours. So I just stamped onto a rectangle using some black ink, and then just cut a V shape in the end and then glued that on. And again, I just put some paper inside this card. So I used this big image here, but I just stamped it directly onto the card in Old Olive, stuck a piece of paper on, and then I used again another rectangle of Calypso Coral. Could have put that further up so it kind of looked like it was hanging, but I actually quite like that effect. So very simple, just a little bit of stamping. Hopefully the paper does all the talking for the card. And then obviously putting a sentiment. You don't have to put a sentiment on, it's entirely up to you. So that was Simple Stamping Saturdays. So Sunday, I usually use the same stamp set that I've used for the Saturday, but I step the cards up a bit. So this Accented Blooms stamp set, when it first came out, it was designed to coordinate with the tailored tag punch. So I introduced the punch as part of the design. So for this one, I just simply stuck 3 strips, 1 centimetre strips of the paper onto the cardstock, punched out 2 Calypso Coral tailored tags, stamped, punched again, and then just glued it all together. So very simple. That was that one. So this one is a version of one of the ones that I did on Saturday, so it's sort of an updated version of this one. So stamped the image. I first of all glued a piece of the paper across, and then I actually had another smaller strip which was just lying around on my table, so I thought, oh, I wonder if I did that, put this on. So what I did was I actually stuck it over the top but moved it along one. So if you see like the yellow, the blue, the Calypso Coral, and then I simply stamped the Always Thinking of You onto some Whisper White, punched it out, and then I just used one of my Stampin' Right markers, this one's in Calypso Coral, and just dotted and dashed around the edges. So that was that one. And then the third one is pretty much the same as that, in that it's the same image, and the this time I used Calypso Coral on Calypso Coral. But the paper is actually inside the card, so I actually cut off 1 centimetre from the edge of the front. So those were those for the stepped up Sunday. Monday, things start to get a little bit, I wouldn't say complicated, but I wanted to do, again, I'm trying to not use too many stamps and to try and keep things clean and simple, haha. So this card, again, everything here that you can see, with the exception of the gems, the faceted gems, is made from the paper. So I have 2 strips which I've just angled off the ends. They're glued underneath here. Then I used the daisy punch, the new medium daisy punch. So this was the yellow, so this is the daffodil. This is the dotted ones, and then I also used the leaf punch. I don't know if you can see that. So it's just got 3 leaves and a stem. So these here is the leaf punch. So I simply punched 2 of the dotted paper to make up each flower. So there's four bits punched out there. This is again 2 bits, and then I punched out 4 lots of leaves. And then I just used my fingers and just folded the actual leaves up, just to give them a little bit of added dimension. And then these started life as clear faceted gems, and I used my Calypso Coral Stamp and Blend, the dark one, just to colour them to coordinate. And then the inside is just very simply just has a strip of the paper inside. So that was Monday's card. Tuesday's card, and actually ended up being the last card for the week. Things got a bit away from me in the week. Was this. So Tuesdays is Technic Tuesdays. And I was trying to think of something different that I could do with the paper. So I actually trolled Pinterest. Probably shouldn't admit that, but yes, I do look at Pinterest. And I found this technique, all the details are on my blog. So these pieces of paper actually started off as 2cm by 5cm strips. And then what you actually do is, because you want these pieces to be showing at the top, you have that at the bottom, and all you do is you simply fold over the corners like so. So if that one's gone down, then this one needs to go up. She says, it's always, why is it always not easy to do when you're live? Just pretend that one's straight. And then this one, because that went down, so this one wants to go up. And this one wants to go down. And then what actually happens is that when you start putting them together, you see they will go together, and then the next one will go up. Let's do one more. We'll go up. Actually, I think I might have done that the wrong way. Never mind, we'll put it on that side, and that can go that way. So as you can see, when you start sticking them together, they will start making a zigzag. So it's important to have ones that are folded that way and ones that are folded that way. And then you just alternate them when it comes to gluing them together. So this is how this was made. So it's on a piece of Petal Pink cardstock, which I ran. I used the stitch nested labels. So I used this piece to actually cut that. I've used the new eyelet lace embossing folder, and then these are just the smaller ones here that I used. So that was that card, and again, the instructions are up on my blog. And again, I put 2 layers of cardstock in, so I got Pool Party and white, and then I just put some paper on the inside. So that was Tuesday's card. Wednesday is normally news. Thursday, I normally post something, but I kind of just got, so as I said, it got a bit crazy. So the last project I have to share is this, and it's an envelope card. So this is the one that hasn't been seen. It's not up on my blog or anything like that. And it's a simple, she says. So that's the belly band. So it's a piece of Petal Pink and Old Olive. Again, Petal Pink, Old Olive, and then that's Pool Party. It's wrapped around. It doesn't meet together, so this actually holds the belly band. So as you can see, it does go all around the back, but it doesn't go all the way around the front. So that's all held together with that first stitched nested label. These, yes, I did do some fussy cutting in the end. I swore I wasn't going to, but it just kind of begged to have some fussy cut flowers and birds on. So what I actually did was I glued the bird and the flowers to a piece of Whisper White and then cut it out, because that then gives it some extra strength. And then this is a separate little flower. So that's the belly band. And then this is the card, and when you turn it over, you will see it looks like an envelope, and then when you open it up, it looks like that. So I have stamped one of the images from the Free as a Bird stamp set. So I stamped this image, and then I went to town with my markers. So this one was coloured, the branches were soft suede, light and dark. The leaves are Old Olive, light and dark. The flowers, Petal Pink. And then the birds are a mixture of Petal Pink and Crumb Cake, because I didn't want the bodies to be too dark, so I used Crumb Cake rather than soft suede. And then the beaks are in Calypso Coral. So that's my surprise for want of a better description, surprise project. So that will go up on my blog eventually, just not today. But I hope you've enjoyed watching these and seeing these and see how they developed over the week from simple stamping to something pretty ornate. So I'm going to put that back on there so you can see it. And it's all I have to say now is have fun and happy stamping. Thanks. Bye.